Okay. So I would really love to be able to talk without you talking at the same time. So Ian noticed, hey, we have a line. When we traced that line, we realized that it has a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of 1, which matches this inequality right here. If we change our inequality sign to an equal sign, there is that line. Well, why do we have so many other points that work?
Oh, because it's less than.
Because it's an inequality, okay? Let's think about an inequality on the number line. Are you ready? Let's go back. Hold on. If x is less than or equal to 3, what do we do on the number line?
Anything less than 3.
So we make a circle and then we like color all these in, right? Remember that?
Yeah. You told me I cut it on that the whole time.
So now we're talking about the coordinate plane, okay? So if we can graph this line and then figure out, hey, what side of the line are all of the point solutions for, then you know what we can do?
But there's less than.
Then we can color this all in.
Since it's less than, it's what's called less than.
I understand what you're doing. Ian.
Oh, if you swap the inequality sign, would it make the other side correct and the other side wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, Ian asked if we swap the inequality sign, how is that going to change our picture?
Flip it. Yeah.
So now this is going to work and this won't. Hey, guess what we're going to do today, guys?
This exact thing.
So what I want you to do is very nicely erase those. And we have some guided notes for today.
I don't know about that.
Okay, now right now.
I have the paper, please. No. I need to erase one. I feel like I have more. What? Oh, that's what is that? Oh, no, it's yeah, it's 60. Oh my God! I have heels. That's 5 cents. No joke. It's like 3 inches.
What if you haven't figured it out already, fold it to a book.
What's your joint club?
No, I'm not.
It's lavender.
Yeah, I still have it. Maybe you should make mine like that.
Make 5. Okay. So here we go. When you get an inequality that is a linear inequality with 2 variables, we need to be able to graph the line first. So what I want you to do is, you see where it says convert to slope intercept form? Before we start moving things around, I want you to write it as 2x minus 4y equals -8. Okay. To graph the line, let's go ahead and convert it to slope intercept form. Something that some of you still struggled with on number 4 of your quiz. Okay, so let's go ahead and subtract 2x from both sides. And I'm gonna go ahead and write it as negative 4y equals minus 2x minus 8. I just like the x term to come first for our y equals mx plus b. Then what do we need to do? Divide by negative 4. So we have y equals,
-1/2 x.
try that again. Positive 1/2 x plus 2. Please remember, hey, please remember that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. A negative divided by negative is a positive. Okay? Connor, what's our slope? 1/2. Okay. Ellery, what's our y-intercept?
It's 2.
2. It's 2. So the coordinate 0, 2 is our y-intercept. So everybody, please put a coordinate on 0, 2. And our slope is up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Or down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2.
No.
I got you, Henry. I can get you a ruler. Where are the rulers at this? I found
No, you don't need to use
it.
Well, you can use rulers. I just don't want you to break them.
Not everybody.
Brooks, grab me a ruler.
Let me just pass it out to the class.
Okay, Miss Hellman.
You don't need to be using renovated.
Okay. Now. Now, here's the deal. We haven't talked about this yet, okay? But please do not write what I'm writing down. This is just like, as you draw your line, I want you to think about this. If we have x is less than or equal to 3, we talked about how this would be our graph, right? What if we had x is less than 3? How would our graph look different? Okay, we'd have an open circle, okay? Well, we aren't graphing circles, we're graphing lines, okay? So since we have the line underneath of our inequality, we're gonna have a solid line, okay? But if we didn't have that solid line, we would have to make a dotted or a dashed line to show that open circle, what we would on the, like, hey, these points aren't included, but here's my boundary. Okay. Okay. So now, this is going to be the easiest way to figure this out. With our warm up, we decided we're going to color one side or the other. Either all of these points are going to work or all of these points are going to work. We just got to decide which side. So we're going to just test 1 point. That's all we have to test. We don't have to test 50 points like we did in our warm up. We're just going to test 1 point. What coordinate would be the easiest to plug in?
0,
0, 0. Yeah, 0, 0. You do not want to pick one that's on your line. That's not going to help you. Okay, so let's try 0, 0. So our inequality is 2x minus 4y is less than or equal to negative 8, right? So if we plug in 0, is 0 less than or equal to negative 8? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so 0, 0 is false. correct? So here is 0, 0. Is it a solution? No, it is not a solution. It did not work, which means we need to color. We need to shade in the other side to show that all of these coordinates are solutions. All of them. If you're playing with a ruler, you are not meeting my expectations. If you are shading one side of the line, you are meeting my expectations. Then you're sitting quietly and still. Well, does it match the one we just did? Shoot. Right where? 20 minutes. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn in our little booklet to problem number 2. Okay. So what is, raise your hand, one thing you notice different about this example? Maddie. There is no equal to. So notice our inequality sign is strictly greater than. So if we were on a number line, we would have an open circle as opposed to a closed circle, which means when we go to graph our line, we're going to have a broken line or a dashed or a dotted line. Okay. But let's go ahead and figure out what that line is first. So let's write x minus y equals 3 so we can graph the line. Okay. All right. How do we solve this?
First, you gotta get into y and that's plus 3.
So what's the first step in doing that? Subtract x to undo it. Now I have negative y equals negative x plus 3. Now we can divide by negative 1. So now we have y equals positive x minus 3. Hey, Noah, what's our slope? Okay. Gabe, how does he know that his slope is 1?
Because x by itself.
Okay, the coefficient in front of x is 1. Henry, what's our y-intercept? Yeah, negative 3. I'm so sorry that you did that. You shouldn't work ahead.
And in pen.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna go to 0, negative 3. And we have a slope of positive 1, right? However, we need a dotted or a dashed line. So when you make your line, it cannot be solid, but rather, I know life's not fair. So if I were you, I would draw your line and I like this. You see what I'm doing there? Okay. Use your ruler and just make dashes. Hey, can you stop being obnoxious? Yep. All right. Eli, what coordinate would you like to pick to test? Eli says, hey, let's test 0, 0. Is 0, 0 on our line? No, so it's an appropriate coordinate to test. If 0, 0 is on your line, You cannot use it.
That works.
Okay, so let's plug in 0, 0. We have x minus y is greater than 3, correct? Is 0 minus 0 greater than 3? It's literally typed on, what does that say?
Oh, you do it to the original equation?
Original, and it's not an equation, we go to the inequality.
You use the original inequality?
Yes. Okay, so what we're gonna do, what did we decide about 0, 0? It did not work. So 0, 0 is not a solution. So we get to shade the side that does not have 0, 0 since it wasn't a solution. What'd you say? The line? Okay, Allison asked a question. How do we know that we have a broken line? Kyron, could you answer that for us?
Negative.
Cassie? Okay, so Allison, Cassie said our inequality does not have the equal to line. So that's how we know that it's not solid but broken. Okay? Are you good with that, Ian? Okay. So Allison, I have a question for you. If we go to example 3, what kind of line are we going to have? We're going to have a broken line. I'm going to give you 2 minutes for you and your elbow partner to work through example number 3. 2x plus y is less than -2. Oh, man.
Oh, this is broken. This is broken. This one's broken. Yep.
Maybe you should pay attention to something. I'm not even talking about. Dude, I had to raise my whole. She told him. I had to raise my whole. Because I actually didn't want to. So I really had to raise the whole thing. She told him. Eric, what do you want? Something like that.
Go from James.
Something. What are you doing right now? Really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's harder. We're on.
Books do it so that you can.
No, you're supposed to be working with your hand. So it's not educated.
That's your base.
You don't wanna go to Spanish.
You really have a history class for the last 2 years.
No, you don't do.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yes, it is.
I don't like science. I don't like science. I like science.
Because 0, 0.
My science is boring too.
It's always like, it's not
Good point. Hold on. Saying that
See, and then it takes 20 minutes. Well, I used to love studying.
Miss Almadad,
we're gonna talk about it. Okay. So you should have y equals -2x minus 2, correct?
Really? I don't think so. I don't know.
Does your line match mine? Okay. It should be a broken line. Terry, what point did you test? And a 0 is 2 times 0 plus 0 less than -2. So we need to shade the side that 0, 0 is not on. What's wrong?